YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We will be getting started momentarily. What's up, everybody? We should be live now on Facebook. I'm Sami Abusad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Welcome to another weekly video from the Strategic Swing Trader. Usually I do these videos early in the day. Today, late afternoon, early evening. Late afternoon if you're on the West Coast. At any rate, we're going to get started. We're going to talk about the market. We'll talk about also some swing ideas for the week. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss in this video is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below the video. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. If you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps support our channel. And last but not least, if you have any questions, reach out by emailing customer service info@t3live.com. info@t3live.com. All right, here we go. Hope everybody's doing great. I'll start off by talking about Bitcoin because it's about to trigger a really pretty daily buy setup. I like it over 30. It's actually 23,479. Let's say 23,480. But to be a little more sure, I'd give it room to 23,651. So over 23,651. The only issue with Bitcoin, which is what I'm about to talk about, the U.S. equities market. We've had a very nice run. What did I say last week? Bullish, right? That's what I said last week. We have higher highs, higher lows. No reason not to be bullish. And we continued higher. Now, we did get a gap down on Friday. And as you can see, we closed actually below the 20 on the hourly chart of the Qs. So it's very easy to come back in a little bit if we end up gapping the under Friday's low. So if we gap or break under Friday's low, because we're starting to get that turn on the hourly chart, then we might see a pullback in the market. Okay. If we also look at the weekly chart, if you look at the weekly chart that's the monthly. Here's the weekly. If you look at the weekly, we've had that nice run up, but we're in the area of the declining 20, so we could easily come in. We just need to break Friday's low. And if we do, then I don't know if Bitcoin is going to, if that buy setup is going to survive. So that's the only thing I don't like about Bitcoin is the timing with the market. Otherwise, love it. I'm planning on playing it. I already have some Bitcoin, and I have a bunch of other things like AVAX, whatever it is, AXS. I have ETC, LTC, and BNB, but BNB I have it in a different account. So you know, I have a few other things. I guess the symbol was not showing, but you know, here it is. So the ones that are highlighted, most of them I have, I would say. So okay, so that's the only thing I don't like about Bitcoin is the timing with the market. And as long as we don't break Friday's low on the SPY, the Qs, then the bias will continue to be bullish for me. Okay, I'll continue to be bullish. On to the swing ideas now. I got some additional ones that I try to keep the video pretty short and reasonable in terms of the length. But I got some additional ideas that I do like, but I think I don't want to talk about them in this video, in the description. So check them out if you're interested. So here's what I got for you today. We got ARK. Doesn't look so pretty, but that looks like it bottomed. Look at that nice long-term base that it built. So long over 51.15. Okay, is that right? 51.15. Yeah, 51.15. Stop. I would put it under 43.40 as a long-term entry. The same with shop. Is a very long-term entry over the highs. So I think Friday was the highest high. 42.60. Thursday was the highest high, and then stop under the lows as a long-term entry. All right, we saw the Carvana make a very nice move, same kind of base on Friday. So shop and ARK are interesting. OBSV is a penny stock. I don't normally trade penny stocks that are under $1, but this one is really pretty. Look at the nice hourly base. It just needs to take out 29 cents. And then the stop would be under 22. Okay, so I really like it to 50 cents, maybe even 60 cents. This bar is high, whatever it is. It is 62 cents. So it's got good room. Actually, if it gets to 60 to 58, it'll have doubled basically. Okay, AFRM is the same kind of idea. Long-term base, probably bottomed, but it's not as neat of a base as the ARK or SHOP. So I don't like it as much, but the entry for it would be over 33.73. Stop would be under the pivot rather than the entire base, and then the stop would be under 22.93. FXLV traded it on the day that it gapped. I thought that gap might end up being the bottom, and so far it looks like it was. So I like it over the base, which is $1.85. It looks like $1.86. I remember seeing $1.86 somewhere. So it needs to clear $1.86, and the stop goes under $1.50. Okay, $1.52 maybe. And then target would be the 20 MA on the daily, and it could also be a long-term entry on the FXLV. GPS, similar to the other ideas, this might also be a long-term entry. It's been in a long-term downtrend. If you look at the monthly chart, I mean, probably, you know, okay, this wasn't the time to buy, this was the time to short it, and this is probably more like the time to buy it than not. Now, if you say, well, the weekly is in an all-out downtrend, hasn't accelerated at all, I want to stay clear of something like this, then I say I salute you, because most of the time you should never bet against just a very tight grindy downtrend like the GPS has on the weekly. At the same time, we can see that the daily may be breaking, so it's just an idea for you. Over the base, stop under the pivot right there. Okay, it's not my favorite idea. If you're a subscriber to the Strategic Swing Trader newsletter, I've already done with it. Feel free to check it out, or you'll get the email in the morning before the market opens. The GSAT triggered already. I had a call on it last week, and then the market, like this day, I think I had a call on it. No, this day. And then the market popped really hard, and the GSAT put in a doji bar. So I canceled my call. And then sure enough, the next day it would have triggered, and then the day after exploded higher. Reported earnings on Friday, it still moved up. So the right entry should have been around 140. The call was at 141 last week, but like I said, I made it into an idea rather than an official play last minute because of the relative weakness at the time to the market. Now it's looking good. Looks higher to 250, maybe even $3. So the GSAT looks higher. Entry, it triggered already, as I said, over 140, but not too late, over 165 with a stop instead of under the base, now under 145, 148, I think. So it's a 20-cent stop. Still looks good. I like it. The Peloton, similar to the AFRM, similar to the ARK. It's a long-term base that I don't love. Not as good as Carvana. Carvana was tip-top, was perfect. So this thing looks higher over the base. Stop under it, okay? And target, I would say maybe around the 200 MA on the daily chart, okay? This is different. This is daily buy setup. Roll, ROL, long over 37.80. Stop under $37. So it's about an 80-cent stop, and then target in the 40s. You know, 43, 44, the all-time high, basically, on the ROL. SBTX is a weekly 1, 2, 3 plus that transition on the weekly chart. Don't love it because of the flat 20, but I think it's worth a shot. Except, I just remembered, I think this is thinly traded, so be careful if you decide to play. Long over 534, stop under 489. It's a thinly traded stock. The shop we talked about. Talk, notice the breakout, maybe not last week but the week before. And then it's been putting in these doji bars, so this is nice over the base. Weekly is good too. A lot of weakness, but that's all the ones that have a transition A breakout. The ones that are coming off the bottom will look weak. So this looks nice. By the way, look at I just noticed, look at this tight base over here. This might have been a buyout that just didn't go through, fell through. See it? And then, because usually you don't see bases this tight. When they are, you know, it's usually a buyout. Last but not least is the YSG, which is not quite ready because the daily is in a downtrend. But look at that weekly chart. That looks really pretty. So the plan for me is to let it go, let it pop, and if it does pop, buy the next pullback or the next entry on the YSG. There's a few other stocks, China stocks that I like. BEKE has a nice weekly buy setup also, but it needs to clear the base. I don't know, VIPS has a nice weekly buy setup also. So there's a few China stocks. The cruise lines, RCL, CCL, NCLH, some of the airlines like JetBlue, I would say, all look decent, I would say. Look pretty good. That's RCL, CCL, double bottom, NCLH, higher low. So clearly the RCL and the NCLH have relative strength, but it's a tight niche. It's a group, and they all will work or not work, you know. So RCL, going back to the daily chart, is that the day? That's the weekly. Here's the daily. So it looks nice. It's the same concept, that transition. And then the JetBlue is also the same concept, that transition. So possible long-term entries. The only problem, in my opinion, with a lot of these plays is the timing with the market. Are we due for a pullback? I think we'll find out tomorrow. Okay, if we break Friday's low, then I'm going to say we are due for a pullback, in which case hold off on some of these longs. Okay, if you're a subscriber, I'll be guiding you through this every step of the day, every step of the way on a daily basis, day by day. So that's the benefit also. DXC is a 1, 2, 3. I think most of these shorts are coming after a bearish gap down that printed a narrow range bar after that initial igniting bar. Now in this case, the DXC isn't a very narrow range bar, but I think it still looks good under 25.50. Stop over 26.87. Okay, on the DXC. The ECVT, same concept. But in this case, since I would give it to this bar's low before getting in it. So under 8.65, stop over 9.02. Okay, on the ECVT. 8, same exact thing. I traded most of these, day traded, but now I would like to swing trade them. Like the 8, I know I traded it this day. I made, I think, $1,900 to $2,000. So either, yeah, I think it was 19 something on the 8. So short under Friday's low 422, stop over 466. A lot of these 1, 2, 3 setups, I want to make sure there's a good hourly chart also, so it's not too far below the 20. So by the time that the 8 triggers, if it does trigger under 420 or so, then the 20 will have caught up to price. It won't be too extended. The DXC maybe is a much more extended because the sell-off was much bigger. Okay, so you have to pick and choose, figure out which ones exactly are the ones that are best to be played and which ones need some more time. HAYW or HAYW has got a nice hourly base breakdown. So under the base short, stop above it. Okay, I like it. It's pretty good. INFN, same concept. So you got the igniting bar, the doji bar, and then another doji bar. So I like it under Thursday's low, which is 493, stop over 528. Okay, about a 35-cent stop. Pay has a beautiful 1, 2, 3 short. So short under 1270, stop over 1315. I think I would give it to 13. I said 1315. I'd say maybe 1330. A little more room because it dropped so much already on Thursday. STIM, same concept. Short under 136.75, stop over 152. So almost every single one of them, they all look alike. Every single one of them is a 1, 2, 3. The HAYW is more of an hourly base breakdown. The INFN has 2 doji bars, so that makes it a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. But they all follow the same concept. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this weekend's video. Like I said, I tried to keep it short so that you can watch through the whole thing. And if you did enjoy it, find benefit in it, please be sure to hit the like button and reach out with any questions. Check the complete list in the description of the video and check out the links if you'd like to find out more about my services. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Ciao.